from there destruction of your intelligence, and finally your own personal destruction. So in these 8 steps, one's downfall happens. So where the problem starts, when we start thinking of things which are not right. And so I keep telling, our market people know very well. They bombard our phones, our TVs, and the billboards, name it. They keep on showing things which we should develop an attachment for, desire for. Few months back or a year back, I had read how a person in Karnataka sold his kidney to buy an iPhone. And that is what delusion is. You desire for it, iPhone, iPhone, iPhone everywhere. You see it on the billboard, you see it on the TV, you see it with your friends, and then you develop a desire. And what do you do? Then you do not know how to get it, you get angry, your parents don't give money, you can't earn it the right way, then you sell a kidney, God given gift to you, sell it away for the sake of an iPhone. And then what happens? Finally, you fall sick, you sell a kidney, your other kidney won't be able to take care of you. You have to take a lot of medications to survive, cut down on your diet, and so many things. And finally, you're destroyed. A desire can destroy you, but the desire born is born because of constant thinking of unwanted things or constant engagement in contemplation or thought of things which are not good for us. The same thing applies if you turn it around. There are 8 steps to one's emancipation also, which our Upanishad tells us. I think it's Kathopanishad which tells us. Or maybe Mundakopanishad, some Kathopanishad says. It says, Indriyani paranyahu, Indrebhak param manaha, Manasastha param buddhi, Buddhe atman mahan paraha, Mahata param avyaktam, Avyaktat purusham paraha, Purushat param na kinchit, sa kashtha sa parangatihi. What can you do? Reverse the whole thing back and start like this. Indriyani paranyahu. They say that there are sense objects, for example, an iPhone, that is an object that of desire. Greater the, yes, the senses like eyes which see that and desire for it is very, very powerful. Senses are very powerful. Indriyani paranyahu. They're very strong. So first is sense object, the object of desire. Then the sense faculty which desires for it, taste, smell, touch, feel, whatever the desire is. But beyond the senses, there is mind. If the mind can be taught and disciplined and made to understand that it is not good for you, how? By using buddhi, intelligence which is beyond the mind. Manasastu para buddhi. Intelligence should tell the mind. Mind is just collection of thoughts. Bad, good, ugly, all kinds of thoughts. But discrimination or intelligence is what tells the mind this is good for you, this is not good for you. So if your intelligence is trained to tell the mind, to tell the senses, to reject the object which you are desiring for, it's not good for you, then there is some hope. And beyond mind what exists? Buddhi. And beyond buddhi he says, Mahati Atmani exists. The great Jivatma, the soul, the spark of divinity is there in you. That exists. That is what is called as intuition. That exists, which tells you this is right, this is wrong. Even if your buddhi gets confused because of marketing, that if you sit quiet and pray, that tells you what is right, what is wrong, and then you follow that. And beyond that Mahati Atmani, the great Atmani, lies the Paramatmani, the ultimate godhood, or as we call in our scriptures, the idea of Purusha, that which embodies all of us, the supreme source of all knowledge, all purity, all divinity, which is within us. That guides us like that. We can connect to that. And that is the ultimate. There is nothing beyond that. If you get connected to that, then your thought, word, actions, everything will flow from that source of supreme wisdom. You don't need your buddhi to work. You don't need your mind to work. You don't need to worry about your senses because it's now being driven by the ultimate supreme source of all wisdom, knowledge and discretion. So you'll never go wrong if you are completely in tune with your highest self. So why spirituality is important? Because if you are not following the second path, Sense objects, senses, mind, buddhi, atman, paramatman, purusha, and that is the ultimate. Beyond that, you have nothing. Then you are definitely going to go the other shloka way. Keep desiring for the objects of the world, then run behind them. You don't get it, get angry, get deluded, lose your discretion, lose your intelligence. Finally, destroy yourself. This is what happens to most of the world. What are they doing to themselves? This is what Eke Chatma Hano Janaha, our scriptures say. They commit suicide, spiritual suicide, actually material suicide also. I read some time back in a newspaper in some house in UP, the mother and the son were there. The father was a police or military officer. There was a pistol at home, private one that father must have had. This boy was playing PUBG game for endless hours. He wouldn't listen to the mother. He wouldn't listen to anybody. He murdered his mother with the pistol because the mother tried to stop him. Locked her up in a room. He had a younger sister too, and threatened her not to speak about it and continue playing. When the foul smell started coming from the house, that is when the neighbors and others suspected. They broke into the house and found that boy and that absolutely petrified little young sister of his, and foul smell coming from the room. When they opened the room, there was the dead body of this mother. That's how PUBG had consumed this child, maybe in teens at best. A few years back, a game was there, Blue Whale, that would capture the children and ultimately push them to jump from the roof or cut their veins or kill somebody. It would have grasped their, or what, completely taken control over their mind and discretion. And they'll simply follow the game as if or some other game of this nature in some other form will definitely come back to the market. And then people get back to those and keep doing that again and again. Why am I so strict about rules and regulations here? Nothing I was doing. I was just watching some nice, useful entertainment, something. But that is how it begins. Mind is very clever. It's like stock market. You first invest, it gives you money back. Or gambling. You win first time, you definitely win. Second time you go, maybe you will win again. Then you get very excited. Then you put all the money and lose everything. All world has been created like this to attract us towards it, make us give away everything that we have, ultimately destroy us. That is the job of how this creation has come into existence. Why these rishis were so wise to give up the world? Because they knew. Why take a chance at all? Even if we think we are very careful and we are very strong, we would somehow manage to outsmart the world. It's a false idea. That is why they stayed away, saying that why get into the trouble in the first place when you know there is going to be a trouble? Why test your unnecessary your strength when you never know the opposition? Like Vali and Sugriva, and Vali had a boon that anybody who comes in front of him, half of his power comes to Vali. Mind is like that. You try to confront the mind, it will take first half of all your powers. It will make you useless and powerless and conquer you. How many people in teachers in our institutions have been fallen for such kind of stupidity like video games and video games nay this mobile trading app